What's up, folks? Welcome to the Furnished Mind. My name is James Saydee Jr. Um, what's been going on in Portland? It's time to get some more updates on their situation. So, U.S. Marshals deputized Oregon State Police to help quell Portland riots. So, Oregon State Police, in response to nightly rioting, have been cross-deputized by the U.S. Marshals Office. So, what does that mean? So basically, it's to grant somebody authority, to have the powers needed to act on their behalf. So, uh, Oregon State troopers can now charge protesters under federal law. And also, it grants them authority on federal property as well. So basically, that dispels the argument that the only reason why the rioting has been amplified is because the president sent in some troops and they've exponentially increased the violence and the looting. No, we can't use that argument anymore. So what they're going to do now, they've been cross-deputized by U.S. Marshals to also have the powers and exercise the authority of federal officers, and we're going to go straight to U.S. Attorney's Office. The city has been plagued by spineless leaders. You have Governor Brown, who's a Democrat. You have Democratic Attorney General Rosenblum. You have the Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler, who's also a Democrat, and then you have District Attorney Mike Schmidt as well. The people in this area have had enough. They've had enough. The business owners, they've lost everything. Their shops are boarded up. They've lost all forms of income. They're stuck in a situation where their leaders are afraid to speak truth. Their leaders are afraid to stand up in spite of everything that's going on and disavow the violence, disavow the looting and the vandalism. But instead, because they're afraid to lose their target demographic, because most of these rioters are liberals, you see people like Kamala Harris saying, we're going to raise money to post bail for some of these violent rioters. That's the kind of leadership that people in Portland are under, and they're sick of it. In fact, it's gotten so bad, we see Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler moving to escape protester violence. So it's gotten so bad that these business owners who have put everything they own, all their savings, probably cashed out on 401ks, taking out loans from banks, taking out personal loans from friends and family to start their businesses. They're trapped in these scenarios where their leadership won't even protect them, but yet you have Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler getting ready to leave. So let's see what Wheeler has to say. He's told his mayors that he's moving out of their building, relieving everyone there of the need to put up with the regular demonstrations by the lefty mobs plaguing their city. And this is a quote for him: "Sincere apologies for the damage to our home and the fear that you're experiencing due to my position." That's BS. Straight BS. He's trying to take the load of everything that's going on and put it on his shoulders like a good leader would. But we also know that a good leader has a spine. A good leader will put his neck out for the people that he's protecting, for his followers. He's not willing to speak out against the rioting. Sincere apologies for the damage to our home and the fear that you're experiencing due to my position. What about this? How about you disavow what they're doing? How about you stand up against the angry mob? What about having a little backbone and have some boldness for once and tell them that what they're doing is wrong? The moment that you have a backbone, you give everybody else the confidence to stand up and say what they're experiencing is not right. It's not normal. They shouldn't have to put up with that. As you can see here, downtown Portland is a mess each morning. Streets full of trash as well as glass from broken windows. Graffiti covers boarded up shops as well as benches and other buildings. More and more tents are popping up everywhere to those out of town. Antifa and BLM radicals have to sleep somewhere. See, this is tough, man. This is tough. What you see here in these Democratic controlled cities, you have leaders that are cultivating environments of chaos. That's not what you were elected to do. They wanted somebody with vision to see their city grow, for citizens to feel safe and protected, that they can trust that you're going to do the right thing, and they don't have to constantly look over their shoulder because there's some crazy out of town protester who's going to come and try to attack them and call them a bigot or this or that. That's what they elected you to do. And now when you're faced with a real life circumstance, you can't do anything. And that's sad for the people that live there. So the decision to cross deputized troopers was made at the end of July when Oregon Governor Kate Brown announced that most federal troops stationed in the city would leave. But officials only announced the move this week, the outlet said. Wow. There's still Oregon State Police. You got that right. There's a reason, though, that the surrounding areas refuse to come into Portland and help. Number one, you have a mayor and a governor that refuses to put their neck out for the very police officers who are risking their lives to bring peace and safety. And if you're a police officer, would you trust that they would have your back? If you're going to go into hell on earth, would you trust that they're going to protect you, that they're going to stand up for you? No. They're being led in like sheep to be slaughtered, and I don't blame them for saying, I'm not going there. I have a wife, I have children. Why would I risk my life to go into this nonsense? Not only that, to know that we have a governor, we have a attorney general that they're going to turn their back on me. So you have surrounding officers that are saying, no, we're not going. You have the district attorney, Mike Schmidt. He's not willing to condemn anybody. He's not willing to charge any protester, any rioter with anything in regards to what's going on here. So now this is what we can expect from Oregon State Police. So now that they've been cross-deputized, they have the ability to act on behalf of federal government. They can send these rioters, these vandals, looters, directly to be charged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. So now you can't make the argument once again that the violence is increasing exponentially because of outside forces. Nope, these are your homegrown police officers. These are your local officers, your state officers, and they're going to do what's right because what they want is peace. Everything that's going on in this country, we understand, like, it's tough. I understand the emotion behind it. I understand the need for change, but this is not the way to do it. The First Amendment grants us the right to peacefully protest. And that's what I want to see. I want to see people peacefully protesting. I want to see civil dialogue, and I want to see legislation being passed. What I do not want to see is the same people that are protesting to enact change also destroying the very communities that my people need. When you're in these cities, when you're burning down buildings, when you're destroying cars, when you're destroying these shops, even though you wear a Black Lives Matter shirt, the same Black lives that you're apparently fighting for, they depend on that infrastructure to survive. Those local shops, the bus lines, maybe the car that they saved years for so their family can have a source of transportation. Just like that, you've taken it all away from them. They have nothing now. They have no way of getting around. They have nowhere to shop. They have nowhere to get their haircuts. All the simple things that they need for their lives, you destroyed it. So instead of destroying in the name of peace, let's focus our energy on putting together some legislation that can actually bring concrete change. What we have here is it's tough. It's tough to see what's going on here, but something has to be done. We can't just hope the emotional outbursts will just stop and things will come back to normal. That's not how it works. You have to meet it head on. My heart goes out to the Portland area. My heart goes out to the rest of Oregon. Um, I'm originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, so when I saw the rioting, when I saw the violence, it was tough to see. Obviously, again, I support anybody's right to peacefully protest, but what we're seeing here is not the way. It's very unfortunate that they had to take this path, but a lot going on here. Everything's going, it seems, down the path towards chaos, but with good leadership, I believe we can quell those fires. The person that loves you the most will tell you the most truth. So let's hopefully we can find those individuals that believe in truth, that believe in justice, and we can kind of see everything. We can see a level of normalcy once again that we haven't seen since the start of 2020. All right, well, with that being said, my name is James Saydee Jr. This is The Furnished Mind. You guys have a good one.